You finally landed an amazing job and now you want to make an impact and massively kickstart your career. Well, to make an impact, first you have to start making an impact. This means taking it, let's say, easy at the beginning and finding out how in the given team dynamics you can give the best contribution just by contributing and doing your job. And after getting the hang of this, you can then see those inefficiencies and make a good educated judgment on what the high impact and low effort things are that you could do. Sometimes I see people skipping this step, so they don't really contribute too much and then they want to make these improvements for the team, but it's a little bit strange how this expresses itself because they'll do things that are not so necessary and a bit weird and a bit risky. They'll do massive refactorings when they haven't really gotten a feel for the code base yet. So I generally advise to first putting in some time, a month or 2 or 3, and then you will inevitably see the things that are suboptimal. And here's this beautiful matrix that's very famous, but I will not go too deeply into it. Just note that there are some low impact, high effort, or even high impact, high effort problems that will be there, and they're there for a reason and they're not solved yet for a reason. Though this video is about the fact that there are also high impact, low effort problems to solve. But that's why I need some time in the trenches to see what is so low effort. It might be tricky to do this listening to me, so I'm gonna give you the example of my own experience, which, while it might be unique, you can draw some inspiration from, and I'm sure it's gonna help you. So my company where I work, they have a strange situation where the source of truth of their stuff lies in Salesforce, and they are heavy operations based, which means that there's operations doing stuff with Salesforce, and this is not in the control of the tech team. Also, they have a weird sign-up mechanism, and as users go through the user journey, they can't really go back. This makes it very difficult to QA, as you have to create new accounts and fill out everything manually, and it's very tedious and costs a lot of time. And in the first couple of months, this is what happened. First, a user will go to the landing page, then they'll click on the city A, and they'll fill out the lead survey. Filling out this lead survey is tedious. When they get to the end of the lead survey, they will sign up. However, they will not give a password. Instead, we will send an email with the link that they can log in. They don't need this email, however, they are just logged in, and whether they log in with email or they just proceed after the sign up, they can then set a password manually, but it's a little bit hidden and cumbersome and rarely worth the effort. Because usually when you QA, you have to fill out surveys to test something there or make sure that everything still works, which means you need a new fresh account anyways, which means there's no point in saving a password. After the customer is in the dashboard, they're prompted to schedule a sales call with our salespeople. And ideally, then they are sold something that they want to buy and they sign a contract. This all happens in Salesforce. Once this happens, there's a trigger that is sent to our backend, so our backend knows what's up. We then show them a widget they can click on and use our main product. This main product we have to test. And this meant for the QA, we had to sign up real customers. I mean, not real, but we had to do it on production. And then we had to fill out the contract manually, send this PDF via email and sign it and send it back and all of the stuff. Very time consuming and tedious. Only then to see this widget to see if it all worked. And once you filled it out, you needed a new account, needed to repeat this process. So after seeing this, I saw that there was exactly this, a high impact, low effort problem, which is I simply mocked the database entities to show the front-end stuff for localhost and for staging. If you're technical, you can simply hack or fake certain flags that show you these things, which I do. But when you QA or you don't want to always go into the code, it's great to have UI buttons. So that's what I did. I built these dev tools, a section in our app, where you can see these buttons and you can press them and either some objects are created, or the other thing I did was that the survey progress gets deleted, so you can start the surveys again. What I didn't have time to do and what's still missing is the ability to fill out a survey automatically or fill out a single question automatically, or even have key bindings in the survey, also called accessibility. Right now you have to do it with your mouse and it's super annoying. So I saw the situation that there was lots of QA. It took hours. It took so much time. And I found ways to make this much more rapid and efficient, and even my dev tools got broken, the logic behind them, which I will get into now. And then after I repaired it, everyone was quite happy. So it was a little bit also joyful or surprising that people were actually using these features, and when they stopped working, were sort of sad and were happy once I fixed them again. And herein lies the thing, they broke because you have to find in your company a way, if they don't already have something like DevTools, to implement them in a secure way. You don't want your customers to see them, so you need something like user roles or permissions, such as admin roles. We didn't have this, and we didn't have the resources to implement it just for a feature like this. So I used the environment so that you could do it, for example, on localhost, but it wouldn't show in production. You also have to make sure to secure your backend routes, because otherwise people can just hack you, spam your routes and then delete stuff or whatever. And finally, I'm gonna leave you with a final story of where I made a huge impact with this mentality. In all the previous companies I worked at, there was a feature called impersonation, where you could log in as an arbitrary user or some user that you were looking for and could act in their behalf. I wanted to implement this, but it was a big security risk, so for now we didn't do it. Come again though, we had the issue that a customer would complain to operations that they weren't able to submit the survey after they filled it out. Keep in mind, the survey was our main product and it was vital for them to fill it out to progress in the customer journey, which brought us money. We were blind in the situation, and sometimes we found out that the user was simply a bit older, not so good with technology, and didn't find the submit button or something like this, which is a user experience issue. However, other times, legitimately, there were insidious small bugs that were really hard to detect that customers would randomly encounter, and we didn't really have a way of fixing them or doing anything about it as we were blind. So at some point I was able to architect an elegant and secure solution that would allow us to add impersonation. I did this and enabled this feature, and it was a huge saver because we were able then to concretely investigate customers' problems, and we found some bugs that had been there for a long time and had a really large negative impact on our business. And we were able to reproduce them because we could see the error code and we could see the logs on production and whatnot after triggering it. And yeah, so we were able to discover these problems, but also fix them. And now the story becomes even better because I was in a small task force then together with my product manager then to help resolve some bottlenecks that operations had. And they used this impersonation feature with success to unblock customers that were stuck. However, they were sort of blind as to where and which customers were stuck, as we have many customers. And then with their feedback and ideas and everything, I didn't develop an algorithm, but sort of like a query that would search the user database for some proxies and metrics to see which users were likely stuck. And we built this feature and we're able to unblock many customers, and now operations is able to quickly see if someone is stuck and help them. So these are the rough keynotes on how you can make a great impact. I hope you found this inspiring to find your own ways, and yeah, I hope you have a good day.